at the end of World War One depicts a Rajput king, which was quite extraordinary given that India was still a colony, and the Great War was one of the most significant events in human history. In this video, I will focus on who he was, his story, and the circumstances that made such an unlikely appearance of a representative from a colony of a racist empire at the table where great powers of that era redrew the world order. Ganga Singh was born on 13th October 1880 to Maharaj Shri Lal Singh Sahib and his wife Maji Shri Chandravati Ji Sahiba of the Rathore clan that ruled Bikaner. His predecessor was his brother Maharaja Dangar Singh, who passed away before his 33rd birthday, being only 8 years old at the time of his ascendancy. In 1888, the Viceroy of India, Lord Elgin, appointed a British resident, Brian Egerton, as the young king's guardian, though the obvious aim being to help further the crown's interest in this princely state. Ganga Singh was educated at Mayo College, Ajmer, and also served in the military in 42nd Deori Regiment. He served in the Boxer Rebellion and was an aide-de-camp to the Prince of Wales, future King George V. He also participated in World War One, volunteered to raise the Bikaner Camel Corps, also known as the Ganga Risala, which saw action in Boxer Rebellion in 1900, Somaliland from 1902 to 1904, in France, in Palestine, and Egypt during World War One, where near Suez, his troops managed to rout the opposing Turkish forces in a cavalry charge. He was a member of the Central Recruiting Board that recruited Indian soldiers to serve in the First World War. He was also a member of the Imperial War Council and he represented British India during the Imperial War Conference of 1917 and also the Paris Peace Conference of 1990, where the Treaty of Versailles was signed. There he also participated in the talks that led to the formation of an international body of mutual cooperation between the nations so that in the future such devastating war could be avoided. The body was called the League of Nations. So it is pretty safe to conclude that he was a prince who was loyal to the British, had military experience, and was well connected, and held a prestigious position in British India. More than 1 million Indian soldiers served in the Great War, and the tensions in the crown jewel of the British Empire was already high, so it was convenient for the British to present an ambassador from India during the peace talks to acknowledge the forced contribution of its colony, and Maharaja Ganga Singh was the most reliable figure for this job, for he wasn't a politician involved in anti-British struggle, but calling him a British lapdog would be misleading, as he was a pragmatic ruler that understood the realities of that time and used his partnership with the British to improve and modernize his kingdom, and was key in early representation of Indians in foreign conferences. For example, he was a delegate from India at the fifth session of the League of Nations. The Maharaja was a patron of Banaras Hindu University and Shri Bharat Dharam Mahamandal. He also served as vice president of East India Association and the Royal Colonial Institute. He was a member of Indian Gymkhana Club and the Indian Army Temperance Association, the General Council of Mayo and Delhi Colleges, the Indian Society of Oriental Art, the Indian Society London, the Bombay Natural History Society, and was the first member of Indian Red Cross Society. As a sovereign ruler, in 1913 he announced the establishment of a representative assembly. Think of it as a Lok Sabha for his kingdom. In 1922 he established a high court with a chief justice and two sub-judges and gave it a charter of powers. Bikaner was the first state in the Rajputana agency to take such a step. A life insurance and endowment assurance scheme was also introduced for the benefit of the employees of his kingdom. Also, facilities such as saving banks were made available to the people. He was also one of the first rulers to introduce, through legislation, Asharda Act, by which child marriages in his kingdom ended. So he was definitely a progressive ruler who gave back to the people of his kingdom, which was much more than many of his peers did. He wasn't a nationalist or a sympathizer to the cause, but we must keep in mind that he already ruled his kingdom with much autonomy. So being in the good graces of the British was the most pragmatic choice for him and his subjects. Thank you all for watching, and please subscribe if you like this video, and I will see you in the next one.